Hi guys, welcome back. This week we're going to be doing a super secret mod, if you haven't been following me on my other social media platforms, on the back bumper. Roll intro. Before we start this week, I need to give out a few thanks to these guys. Thanks for joining the channel's Patreon. The support is appreciated, and it'll help me buy batteries for the cameras and the microphones and all this sort of stuff to continue making these videos. If you're interested in joining the channel's Patreon, there's a link in the description, or just go to patreon.com or whatever it is and look for Jaff Bills, just like all my other social media platforms. Come and join in. You get some perks and the knowledge that you're supporting a good cause. Anyway, to the bumper. Welcome to a decision I am likely to regret. This is a Ford Focus RS rear bumper. Not found very easily, difficult to get hold of, and expensive when you can. This is a Renault Clio 200 bumper, cheap as chips. Bought it on eBay, had it delivered. It's all broken down here, like cost nothing. And the diffuser that fits directly onto the Clio bumper using these tabs. So these tabs here locate into each one of these holes. Now, I've done something like this before with the Clio diffuser on the Megane, and it turned out awesome, but it wasn't very strong and stable, and the filler cracked, basically. And I haven't driven the car enough to sort of understand why. I just know that mechanically it wasn't a very strong connection between the diffuser and the bumper. So what I'd done with the Megane was I actually cut a hole out of the bumper and stuck the diffuser to the bumper, so the bumper has turned out massive. It's the depth of the diffuser, as tall as the bumper and as wide as the bumper. And it's really cumbersome, and you've got to pull it all off together, and that's a real pain. So I thought, this time, why not get a Clio bumper, cut the bit that I want off, and put it onto the Focus bumper. That way the bumper is still lightweight, isn't cumbersome to manage, and can be handled as a separate item, and then have the diffuser stick into the standard holes that are in the Clio bumper. So they're two separate items. That's what I wanted to do this time. But obviously that means cutting the right parts of this bumper and cutting my expensive RS bumper. Should be fun. Like I said, I may well regret it. Anyway, first thing to do, mark out the Clio bumper. I did start. I've got a mark there. I'll tell you why I picked that mark, but basically I need to do the same this side and cut it out, probably with a jigsaw. I don't mind cutting this one up because it's already broken. It might take me a while to do that one. Well, that went well. Now, we need to fit this on there somehow. Right, now that I've got this cut out, I need to mark it out on here where I want it. Actually seems to fit reasonably well. Hopefully, you get a bit of a better idea of what I'm after now. So I'm going to mark the centre of this, mark the centre of this, mark around this, and then I'm going to cut well down this way on the bumper so I'm not wasting anything. I'm really reticent to do this because RS bumpers are quite difficult to get hold of. And when you can get hold of them, they're quite expensive, although this one was fairly cheap. The only thing that is a saving grace, or the only reason I'm doing this, is one, I'd have to fix this big old hole anyway because I haven't got an exhaust coming out the back. Two, I really like the Clio diffuser. And three, I think this is just such a cop-out of making the back end look good. So if I cut it, I can always try to fix it if I don't like it, but or buy another bumper. Or I can just try my best not to mess it up. So I'm going to, like I said, mark this out, put it where I want it, trace around it, and then hopefully give myself plenty of room to play around. Where's my pen? My life for a Sharpie. Right, ideally I'd like it up like that, but I don't know. So I know I said I was going to mark it out, but I'm going to use this sort of diffuser shape-ish thing as the center, and this as the center of this bumper. So if I just line them up like that, it's going to be close enough to work out. In fact, I'm going to go this way because no, I'm not. I'm going to go this way. Okay, so there's my bumper line. If I measure how much this is, because this should be fairly consistent all the way around, it's about 90 mil. 90 mil. 90. 90. 90, yeah, so as long as I'm between 90 mil and this line, it'll fit. And if I'm not making any sense, hopefully it will in a bit. So if I got 90 mil all along here. Right, so what I was trying to explain is as long as I'm anywhere in between these lines, then that will fit. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut along this ridge because that gives me a nice line to follow. And if I cut along that ridge, then with this on there, yeah, that should be fine. One way to find out. Moment of truth. Let's go. Well, it's too late now. So this now goes behind here. Right, so now I just need to line these up. I'm going to make a mark in the middle. And then put this in the middle too. This is going to be really difficult to hold. Let's do it that way. Right, let's put it on the front a second. So with those slots, I should be able to put it there. Ideal. And line it up. And I can also mark out where I need to cut for the lights. So now it should fit behind, which it does. Kind of, sort of. Like that. Right. Really crudely, I'm going to screw through just to line it all up. And hopefully then we'll get a better idea of what it looks like. Hopefully now you get the idea. It's really crude currently, but I think if I put it on the car now, we can have a mess about and try and get it lined up properly, because I think that's pretty central. It probably has to come towards me a little bit, but that's pretty good. All right, that went better than I expected. I had to take the rear crash bar off because the inside of the Clio bumper fouls it, but we're going to cut the inside of that Clio bumper off anyway, so that can go back on after this is done. But I feel a little less bad about cutting that bumper up now. So now that that's on, we can actually try the diffuser to see what it looks like. I got a feeling that this Clio bumper is going to end up sitting on top of this one, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Just have to see what it looks like when it goes on. One thing I know I'm going to have to do is when that goes on, it actually goes too far under the car, because the well, there's a diff there and a rear subframe and a fuel tank. And that's part of the reason why I'm fitting it, because I just want a bit more protection for the fuel tank. Not that I'm worried about it, it's just, one, it looks cool, two, I like the way it looks, and three, it offers a little bit more protection to that fuel tank. But yeah, when I put it on, it's probably not going to go up all the way, so we're going to have to cut the diffuser as well to shape around the rear axle, basically. But there's only one way to find out, so let's just put it on. Yeah, so it doesn't go all the way up. We're going to have to trim it. How freaking cool does that look though? So like I said, it doesn't actually fit properly because it needs to be cut a little bit more, but that gives you the idea, and it's pretty much exactly what I was looking for. Obviously I've got some tweaking to do. I'm going to cut the diffuser up right now so that I can get it to fit properly. And that's when all the hard work comes in, where we've got to try and find a way to stick them together around that seam, make sure that it never falls apart, and, well, make it look good, really. Like I said at the start, the idea is the diffuser can just be pulled off and the bumper is the bumper. So we just need to work on the bumper. May even give it to a bodywork person who knows what they're doing and say, make these two like fit together and don't break them. Today is a special day, kids. Being as we've got a black diffuser, I can't just use a normal black Sharpie. I've got a yellow one. No regrets. Maybe we drill the heat shield out. Well, that's a lot smaller. A lot more lightweight as well. Right, let's see if it fits. The answer is no. The answer is cut these bits off. Oh, I went to the wrong one. I went to the wrong one. I went to the wrong one. I meant to go to that one. Like that. Oops. Either way, that's your finished article. Can't really see it because it's all dark, but if I come down here, gives you a better idea. Can't believe I cut it in the wrong place, like a muppet. Never mind, that old adage of measure twice, cut once. I had measured it before, but obviously I'm misremembering. Technically I did measure it twice. But those diffusers can be had fairly cheap, so I can just buy another one. Cut it the right way this time. I'm just excited. I wanted to see what it looks like. So at least now we've got an idea. And yeah, waste of 50 quid I think, but it's good enough for some mock-up purposes. I'm happy with that. That looks good. And on that note, I think I'm going to leave it. Minor issues, but nothing throwing more money at the problem can't fix, as per usual. Either way, if you want to see the next episode and make sure you don't miss it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and press the little bell icon next to the subscribe button so that you get notified of new video releases. If you're already following me on these social media platforms, you already seen the outcome of next week's video because, well, I couldn't keep a secret and I decided to post everything up on the internet. So if you're following me on these other social media platforms, you've already seen the results, I guess. But next week is still an interesting video, so you should come back and watch it. So if you haven't followed me on these social media platforms yet, go and do it. You'll get to see updates more often. And if you really want to support the channel, like I said at the start of the video, join the channel's Patreon and you get all your perks. And if your tier has more than 250 brake horsepower, you get your name in the videos every week, just to prove that you're a super solid legend that supports really stupid ideas. So yeah, link to the Patreon is in the description. I'll put a link to all the social media platforms as well to help you out. And until next week, ciao. I made a stupid mistake, stupid mistake.